Now I see we be the new faces of refugees who ain't even overseas but stuck here on our knees. Forget the plasma TV, ain't no electricity. New world's upside down and out of order. Shelter food, what's up, sir? Where's the water? No answers from disaster, the masses be hurting. So who the f they call Halliburton? Son of a bush, how you gonna distrust that cat? The victim, when all that help is stuck in Iraq, making war plans, taking more stands in Afghanistan. 2,000 soldiers there dying in the sand. But that's over there, right? What's over here? The noise so loud, some of y'all can't hear. But on TV, I know that I can see. Yeah, bunches of people looking just like me.
I arrived in the evening. I got there, my grandmother asked me to go ahead and volunteer. On top of that, I already wanted to volunteer. When I got there, at that time, there were 11,000 individuals, many transients that did not have a place to go regardless. Trying to take advantage of the system, but that's not the point. They needed help as well, whether we were from those areas or not. Several volunteers that were at Qualcomm were assigned 2 officers to register everyone. Anyone who had any inaccurate information, wrongful areas that were given, incomplete information, were forced out of the stadium grounds but allowed to remain in the parking lot. The rest of the volunteers, after meal times, when we had extra food, we did distribute it to them. They're in need just as much as anybody else.
Were you there as a volunteer or an evacuee, or both?
I was there as a volunteer. And that was run by the city of San Diego, which after a couple days, I had been up for about 80 hours at that point, with only 4 hours of sleep. Busted my ass 24 hours, helping out with the meals, rounding up cots, various items, you know, putting things on pallets, getting ready for shipments, charting officials around. As a matter of fact, my closing day, which I believe was Friday, San Diego City Council started to be real assholes along the San Diego PD. Starting to become very hostile. There were volunteers that were thrown out for the most ridiculous reasons. There was one volunteer who had a skateboard. He was skating through the stadium delivering medical supplies. They didn't want him on the skateboard. He got off the skateboard. Several officers approached him, asked him to hand over his skateboard. He refused. He wasn't on the skateboard any longer. He's no longer posing a problem. What they did was grab his skateboard, put his hands behind his back. They didn't cuff him. They took him into the security office and threw him out the front doors. Said if he came back on the property, he would be arrested on site. The city, you know, I mean, how important is the fucking Charger gang? Sure, we all love our team. But seriously, who's in more need right now? What, the city wants to make more fucking money? They think it's going to be a better, you know, psyche? You know, it's going to boost morale? Fuck that. What about the people, you know, that are severely depressed, losing their homes? Whether they're originally homeless or they really had homes. So, you know, San Diego City asked buses to come in and charter legit evacuees here to the Mar Fairgrounds.
Basically, they said that they had visa cards here for people that lost their property, their clothing, their food, or whatever. But as soon as you go down there to client services to apply, the first thing they tell you is that fill out this paperwork right here, and we have to send somebody to your house to make sure that you lost these properties and stuff like that before we give you the visa card. But most of these people that's here, they can't even go to their properties. They can't even go down the street of their property. So they're just sitting here stuck waiting. Like there was this older guy a couple of days ago, he came over here crying, talking about they're giving him the runaround, FEMA's giving him the runaround, Red Cross is giving him the runaround, he don't have no place to go. He was staying in his trailer, and his trailer burnt up. So the thing was that they told him to go to client services to find out about the visa card situation, and when he did that, they told him, well, since the property burnt up, and you can't go to that area, we can't do anything for you. So the only thing that he can do is come back here every day and try to get little clothing, little food and everything, because of the fact that they didn't have nothing across there to give him. And they didn't really want him there. It took his armband from him twice. And he had to re-register at the front gate with the Red Cross in order to get in.
Do you know how much was on the Visa card? How much money?
Well,
Minimum of 500.
they were saying 500, yeah.
Maximum of 1,000?
Yeah.
1,000 to replace everything in your household.
But at the same time,
Even Hurricane Katrina got 2,000 if they got it.
but at the same time, you got 100 cars in a parking lot that's all for Red Cross employees and everything that came down, volunteers that came down. They stand across the street at the Hilton. It also has Enterprise also in there, and they're getting rental cars and everything else coming in and out. Talking about going to the casino and they all.
Son, we're waiting for somebody to help us over in. We went all the way to the border, and apparently he never showed up. So one of the security guards there at the trolley stop told us to come here. Like the other guys that were saying, there's a lot of things going on around here. Me personally, I really don't know because I'm not really. I help him and help him only. Today I was given some numbers because I was told that we were supposed to leave tomorrow at 12 o'clock. No, 12:30, right? 12:30, everybody's supposed to be cleared out. Well, the numbers that they gave me was a YMCA, and they turned us down. She's got a 7-year-old son. We told them where we lived, and they said they had no room for us. We went to the Salvation Army. We called the Salvation Army. And then again, they told us, we have no room. We called pretty much 3 other ones. Actually 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 other ones. And we were turned down from them too. For the simple reason they said they had no room for the people that were involved in the evacuations of the fire up here in North County. Rather than that, this is what they had us sleeping on, the cots. If you had your own personal little blow-up thing to put on it to be more comfortable, then that was cool. But if not, you had to sleep on those. I can say one thing about the military, though, they were cool. They were cool. They helped out a lot. And the only thing they did was make sure that everybody was evacuated that was going through the gates. So I give them credit on that. But the Red Cross people, all they gave me was numbers, just to get turned down. They didn't want to turn me down, so they gave me numbers to get turned down.
So they did no addition, no type of follow up
to help anybody that was going to be on the streets by tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I mean, I got a tent. I'm a man. I can sleep on the streets. Mm-hmm. But what about my girl and her son? That's the only thing I was worried about. So I had to call my sister. It's in Nevada. And this other organization that came, I can't remember their name, paid for my tickets so we could go to Vegas tomorrow. California sucks, man. They ain't helping nobody. And I was born in California. You were born in California.
Yes, I was.
We were all born in California. I mean, we're supposed to be helping each other, but apparently we're not getting help for nothing. I mean, me personally, it wasn't my house. It was a friend of mine. He got evacuated. That means we had to leave. Mm-hmm. He gave us a ride to where we could get the trolley. We ended up in San Diego, and we ended up back over here again.
You know, a lot of runarounds, constant excuses to evacuees. You know, not a lot of answers. It felt like they didn't need to divulge certain information. There's a lot of shady shit going on here with the Red Cross. They're not the people that America has known them to be in the past. I think from when the organization started in the 40s.
Employees that did do their job and did beyond their job. But the ones that mess up everybody. Mm-hmm. Give everybody that name. So you got to go after all of them.